Hello fellow collectors, and welcome back to Gallic Gun Toys. Thank you very much for joining me in part 3 of my banpresto wall cleaning video. So it's been a bit of a rough journey last night. I've got some rest. Here we are starting fresh. I filmed that video, first 2 parts on Saturday, which was last night. It's now Sunday afternoon, so I'm nice and rested, and we're ready to get into the second part of it. So let's just jump straight into it. I've already got a shelf down here that's pretty much cleared, and some of the figures have been pretty thoroughly cleaned, so I can take those straight off. Get those over here, since they're pretty well done. I'll just give them a quick fine dust. And I made a few little tweaks to the top shelf. To some of the top shelves last night after the cameras stopped rolling, just so I could get a bit of a sort of sitting back looking at it. I got a bit of a better idea of how I wanted a couple things. So if a few things have changed since the end of part 2, I do apologise. That's just me sort of playing around and tweaking it after everything's turned off. So we're looking pretty good here. Just need to clear this little bit of shelf out. It's not a great deal to clear. Shouldn't take us too long. Alright. So you should always start with the figure itself first, and then do the base, as the base tends to thank you, Jessica. One of your nice long hairs wrapped around that figure. Alright, so that's looking good. And we got this krill in here. Now I want to be delicate of this because the belt piece comes off very, very easily. Yeah, and there's no way to stop that coming off while I dust it, so I'll just take it off. Oh, there's the other way, doesn't it? Yep. Okay, so there we go, Krillin's all done and dusted, quite literally. And we'll just do very quickly. Same thing with him. His belt will probably pop off on us, but we should be able to make do. Oh god, he is really dusty. Okay. Now the blood of Saiyan's Vegeta. I swear he had a base. No, he does. I was wondering what happened to the base for Vegeta, but here it is. Just got misplaced when I was moving stuff around last night. There we go. Blood of Saiyan's Vegeta is all ready to go. Oh, my knees are going to be feeling it at the end of this video, guys. Because, yeah, my knees and my toes are definitely going to be getting a bit of a workout. Maybe we can make this a bit easier. Oh, good old Dragon Ball cushion. Yeah, that's much better. So we'll use that. Chi-Chi's coming apart. Nice. That's alright, that'll make her a little bit easier to clean. Get in, get that cleaned. Another one of Jessica's bloody ridiculously long hairs. It gets everywhere. It's underneath the bottom of the wheels of my computer desk. Gets caught in between my toes. It's a nightmare. If you've got a girlfriend that's got really long hair, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay, so but we're doing pretty good because that's only 2 that we've found so far. I'm surprised I haven't found more, to be quite honest. But there we go. Chi-Chi is looking good. And these are just some of my absolute favourite figures. They really are. I think I had Chi-Chi and Oolong, and then when Jess and I were in Japan, we got the Goku and the Roshi, because I knew they'd probably be easier to source in Japan. On our next trip, I will definitely be looking for the Krillin and the other Goku, perhaps, to finish off the full set, because this is a really, really nice set, these Dragon Ball figures. They're just great. Just fantastic. Actually, I might have got the Goku here. I can't quite remember. I know I definitely got the Roshi in Japan, and that one was a little bit harder to get and a little bit more expensive because they love Roshi in Japan. But who doesn't love Roshi? Like, he's an awesome character. He has a lot more time to shine during Dragon Ball than he does in Dragon Ball Z, but he's still a cool character. And I was really glad during the Tournament of Power that he got time to shine in that, because he did quite well and took out quite a few people. So that was really, really interesting. So I really enjoyed that. So for anyone wondering, his glasses do come off on this particular figure, and it's just a really, really nice addition, because you can put the glasses down so you can just see his eyes like I do, or you put them all the way up, you can have the glasses off. But I display him with the glasses on, mainly just because I have the SH Figuarts without the glasses on, just because I think it looks kind of cool. And I'm not a big fan of the glasses they used for the SH Figuarts. I think it just looks better without it. Alright, so we've got one shelf clear. Just about. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And we've just got these two little gaseous ones to do. Alright. And like I did mention in one of the other parts of this video, guys, this larger sort of makeup brush, I don't know what sort of makeup brush it is, but this one is really what does majority of my cleaning. It's just really good. It gets in there, it's not going to scratch your figures, it's not going to damage anything, it's not going to take any paint off, you know. It's just really, really effective for getting the dust off, and they don't hold a great deal of dust, so you know, you can just give them a quick wipe down, and they're usually pretty good to go. So I think that's looking good, and this shelf is ready to go. So we'll quickly give this one a wipe down. Alright, now that's done. Some of the dust off there. Get ourselves a dead old wire. And a bit of paper towel. Alright. That just brings all the dust off quite nicely, the excess that the duster doesn't get. Alright, so we are nice and clean again. So I'll probably have to hit that again because it will get a bit dusty with the next lot we're going to do. But, okay, so I will check back with you guys in 1 second, and by then we would have got quite a bit more done. So I'll see you in 2 seconds, guys. Okay, guys, so we've cleaned a significant portion now. I've cleared off all 3 shelves, 3 bottom shelves. I've cleaned them off. I'm probably going to have to hit them again. There's dust everywhere. It's getting pretty crazy now. I'm going to start taking all the, was it WFC or WCF? I think it's WFC figures. World Figure Collection. Now, I love these figures. I got majority of the ones in my collection when I was in Japan last. And these are just fantastic, fantastic figures. They usually cost a little bit more online. I've noticed Big Bad Toy Stores started getting them in, so you can pre-order from there at a pretty reasonable price. If not, a good place I find is if you're in Japan, just look around like the markets, the Akihabara free markets on the weekend. That's where I picked up a good chunk of mine in like sealed sets of like 6 or whatever. So that was really, really good because they weren't too expensive. I think for majority of the ones I have, I think only cost me like $200 or $300, which is much better than, you know, paying like upwards to $30 for them at somewhere like Zing. So, yeah, so we're just slowly getting through all these smaller figures. And I don't know if you guys can see, I'll just quickly swing the camera around and show you. So we've got a pretty chockers table of banpresto figures happening over here. So just the plan is at this stage is I'm thinking I'm going to finish doing all these little miniatures, and then I'll have a bit more room to take all this other stuff off, clean it, and then maybe I can just clean some things, move them to another shelf, clean this, make sure all the shelves are clean, get them to the right height that I want, and then start again. Because the plan is, I don't know if you guys can really make it out, but you'll see in the final video when we're done, but I've gone sort of like a small shelf, large shelf, small shelf, large shelf, and that's what I'm going to try and keep with in this little theme I've got going on with this. So I'm just going to stand up a bit because my toes are starting to kill a little bit after all this bending over. My knees and my back. Because as you guys saw with the first part, it takes quite a long time to clear one of these shelves out. So yeah, it's a bit hard on the body. Who would have thought toy collecting could be so vigorous? Okay. Oh, I got one of my knees now. Let's see if I can make this a little bit easier for myself. Okay. Alright, so I love these little figures because they're actually pretty easy to clean. This little makeup brush does wonders with these little WFC figures. I love it. To be honest, I just love just about anything banpresto put out, or Ichiban Kuji. Sometimes, you know, they are one in the same in a release. You know, sometimes something will be marked as both, but generally what I've noticed is some of the newer stuff seems to be primarily just Ichiban Kuji. But banpresto put out so many amazing statues and figures, and that's just, if you want to collect the most detailed characters and the most definitive likenesses and like action poses, I think banpresto statues is really where it's at. Anything they put out, especially these days, is just just such fine quality. You know, sometimes it's hit and miss, but 9 times out of 10, they knock it out of the park. And these little guys, I don't think I've ever seen one that I didn't, even the older ones, I've never seen one that I thought was crap. I think they're all unique and cool, and the colour and the sculpts and just the look of them is just very, very on point. And they're just a great little collectible, especially if you don't have a lot of space and you can only collect, you know, something small like this. That's really good. Okay, so that table is completely full. So now we're going to take the freezer ship, give that a good clean. Okay, so I might wrap for 1 second, guys, and come back to you when all this is clear and I've sorted out the sizing, and we're about to start putting figures onto all the fresh shelves. So alright guys, so I've cleaned all the shelves, every figure's been cleaned, I've stripped them all off, and I've just started placing them on randomly, just to sort of get an idea of where some of them are going to go, and just for height and all that, because I always want to make sure that there's enough space on the shelf that you want for the certain figures that you want on those shelves. So let's just... Oh, okay, let's fix that. Alright. So let's just find us... Okay, so this Vegeta is going to fit just perfectly on here, so he can go on that shelf. These 18s I had on the same shelf before, so they can go either side of this shelf like I had them before. I plan on keeping the WFC display shelf that I had more or less the same, so all of those can pretty much go on there. And this shelf that I had with all these figures on is going to stay the same also. So I might just grab some of these, move them in relation to where they are going to be, just so they're all sorted, all set up, and I can organise them when we get to that. Okay. Right, I think that's good for now. Just throw Golden Freezer aside there. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with this here, guys, because this is generally the easiest shelf to do, because these are the banpresto figures I've had the longest, and this is what really got me into the line. Into just banpresto statues in general, was when I was in Japan and I started collecting these the first time in 2015, and then not long after that they started releasing all of these, so I started collecting all of these because I really wanted to build pretty much the display that I have these with now, so that classic opening scene from the very from Dragon Ball Z, when they're all sort of standing all lined up together, that really iconic scene. And I'm just trying to remember, so Piccolo goes in the back, Trunks goes there, Yamcha goes there, Krillin goes in front. Where's Krillin go? I think Krillin goes over here. Yeah, Krillin goes over here, next to Goku. And then Gohan goes in front of Yamcha and next to Goku. Tien goes there behind Gohan, and Chaozu goes there. So then we'll pop Vegeta there. We'll pop that Goku there. That Trunks there. And that should give us... We might have to open that up a little bit so we've got enough space. Okay, so now we can start setting all of this up. Okay, so I think this Vegeta I sort of had like that. God Goku I had there. And then put Super Saiyan Blue Goku there. So I might move that along. So then maybe we've got all the Gokus sort of together. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks really good. And we put this there. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta can go there behind Whis. And then Golden Frieza. So I think this Goku can go in the back here. Vegeta can go in the back here. Beerus can go in the back here because we've already got Battle of Gods Beerus here. So then we might put Piccolo here. And then these two just here. Okay, I think that works quite nicely. So that's one down. Okay, so now we might try and get a bit of an idea about how we're going to do this bottom shelf. So I want to try and mix it up because it wasn't very well mixed up when I had this all set up before. So we might mix it up with like Vegeta there, and then maybe Fiesta Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So we can have those two like that, those ones like that. And then I think we'll put Goku Black. Damn it. Okay, now I think I'm going to have to re-glue this because this is one particular figure. I'll just show you guys. The bottom of the foot has come out of the actual figure a while ago. So we've had to glue it, but the glue just for some reason does not want to stay. I think it might be the angle that the figure's on. It's just a little bit too against gravity. It is cool, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to re-glue that because that's probably not going to stay. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'll mix this up with a couple of different Gokus as we go along. So Spirit Bomb Goku maybe can go more in the front, and then maybe we'll mix that up with Super Saiyan 3 in the back there. We've got Super Saiyan 2 there, so maybe we'll put Angel Goku to the back here so we can see him nicely. Yeah, maybe like that. And then we've got the Kamehameha Goku, so he can go like that. Now I'm actually thinking I won't have to stack any of these because it seems we have more than enough room, so I can kind of space these out a little bit more evenly and make it a little bit nicer looking, and actually maybe even bring them out a little bit. So that's quite cool. And we've got some Gashapons to put down along there. And what I'm thinking is some of the Gashapons I brought up here, I might shorten that a little bit and just take a few off and add to this shelf here so it's not so lonely, since this one's going to be filled with the WFCs. So now I'm just going to have a bit of a play around with this and see what works best. Okay, so that one there, maybe this one here, maybe that's Super Saiyan Goku in the back. Thinking this Fiesta Kid Goku just there, that'll work quite well. Okay, and we'll put Launch. Maybe Bulma there, because she's still quite visible like that. And then Chi-Chi can go there. Roshi will bring his glasses down. And we'll get Oolong. So there's Oolong. And we've still got the Goku we want to try and fit in here somewhere. Okay, so now I'm going to have to get a little bit creative. So, we might put Chi-Chi in the front here. And one of Jess's absurdly long hairs catching us up once again. So this Goku can go on the back there. Put it on here. Little perv in between all the women. Alright, and I think that is looking really good. So now we'll grab some, we'll just grab a couple more figures to finish this shelf off. Okay. So maybe this one over here. This Goku. And then Krillin can go over this side. Now for the Blood of Saiyans figures, they're going to have to go down the bottom here. Maybe I didn't have quite as much space as I first thought. Okay, but we are getting to the end here, guys. We are so close. Okay, what are we? We're like 10 minutes in. Cool. Okay, so like I said, we want to try and break up the colour as much as possible on this bottom shelf. I feel like it's looking a lot better than it originally did, but I still want to make it look as good as possible. So we're going to try and mix these characters up as best we can. Okay, so Goku Black, Rose Goku Black, I'm thinking he can go over here. That's a nice breakup of colour. We've got quite a few Gokus over here already. Maybe Super Saiyan Blue, because the colour is a little bit more dynamic and different. So we'll pop that there. Okay, and then I'm thinking Vegeta can go over here with these guys, break up the orange. Yeah, alright, that works pretty good. And then that Goku can go here. Okay, I think that works well. That breaks it up nicely. And when we get the other Blood of Saiyans figures, I can just pop them along the bottom here with the other ones. Okay. Alright. So we'll put this little Kamehameha Goku here. And I'll just see if we've got any other little Gashapon we can sort of get away with that will look really good on there. So what have we got here? So these ones I want to kind of keep for the lower shelves, but I might add in a couple of these because they are pretty cool. So we'll add in Zarbon and Vegeta there, and we will take out this one here of Oob and Goku. Alright, that clears that up a little bit. Now we might take... Okay, this one's a little bit crowded, so we might take one of these off. This one I do really love, so I'm going to put that there. That one can go there. And then, actually, I might move that. Yeah, that looks much better like that. Okay, now we're really cooking. So this one can go here. And I actually like that. That works much better on a lower shelf. Okay, sorry guys. I keep forgetting that the camera is so much lower. Okay. So that's working. Maybe we'll just move one more. Perhaps this one, since that's a little bit tight there, a little bit crowded. So maybe that one can go there. We can pop this one here. Okay, now this seems to be working quite well. We've got a nice distance between most of them. Yeah, that's not too bad. maybe I could fit one more small one sort of here. I'll just see what we can find as we go along. I'm just gonna have one more. They are a bit close together. Maybe move that, and we'll put this one and this one over here. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of change in here, move that. And Vegeta's going down. So Vegeta and Zarbon can go there. Okay, that works well there. That one can go there. That one can stay there. And we got that one just there. Okay, I think that is working really well. I'm a lot happier with that. Okay, so now we'll start organising how we're going to have this WFC display. So I think I'm going to just go with the 18s in the back like I did before. So we'll have this 18 down this end and this 18 down this end, which I'm pretty sure was how I had it. We will put this one over here. Alright, so I'm going to keep moving along with this, guys. I'll check back with you in a second when we're a little bit further along. But finally here, we're down to just the last little handful of WFC figures, and I'm just popping them on the shelf now. Really happy with how everything's looking. I'm really glad I got in here over the weekend and changed all this up. It's looking really good. I can't wait to get behind the camera and show you guys a close-up of just how everything looks and how amazing it looks. I'm really satisfied, really happy. So now I'm just, I have changed this up a tiny little bit, but not a great deal from what it was. So I'm just sort of trying to get back that flavor that this little display had. Break up the color and stuff, like I did before. Okay, so Jiro and Goku and Vegeta can go there. Okay, so we're gonna put the Omni King and all these guys over here. And then Kale and Caulifla. They can go there. With Carver. And we've got the Universe 6 Saiyans. Okay. So we've got the Universe 6 Saiyans all together. That's cool. Okay, we're going to have to make a little bit more room here. So maybe these guys can go over here. Minaka. I'll just put Minaka over here. And then we've got Gawasu and Zamasu. Okay, so I think I can mix this up a little bit. Chuck him there. Chuck him there. Chuck Jiren there. Goku there. So they're both fighting him. That's great. And then we can put Hit over here. Frost. Magetta. Oh, make room for Magetta. Okay. Alright, so Magetta's in there now. Okay, that works. And then our big bear friend here, our last one, Gautamo, is going there. Maybe Frost can go over here. No, he looks better there. Put it there. Okay. I think that's done, guys. I'm quite happy with how that's looking. I feel like we've made a little bit of extra room for the future. Okay, but overall, guys, thank you very much for joining me. in this multi-part cleaning video. It's been quite a lot of effort. I spent quite a few hours going through this, and probably about an hour or more worth of footage that I'll be uploading. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Drop a comment down below, let me know. And also remember, we've got a Facebook page now. Just search Gun Toys on Facebook, and yeah, connect with me there too. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.